Richmond, Virginia, under the lights, man. 3/4 mile racetrack sitting up there. I'm talking about a fast racetrack because you beat and bang, and you got to be willing to hang on to that bad boy all night long.
Went down to the mountain, I was drinking some wine. Look up in the heaven, Lord, I saw a mighty sign. Written high across the heaven, painted black and white. Get prepared, it's gonna be a party tonight. Hey, Saturday night. Hey, one more Saturday night. Temperature be rising, everybody getting high. Comes the rock and roll midnight. Place is gonna fly high. Hey, Saturday night.
Can't wait to get back to Richmond.
Hey, one more Saturday night.
I love racing under the lights.
America's best drivers 1/3 of the way through the chase for NASCAR's championship. Tonight, a sold-out crowd at Richmond International Raceway. More than 100,000 to watch from the edge of their seats. FX bringing you closer to the action. When you put Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and a star cast on a short track on a Saturday night, chaos, competition, and confrontation take center stage. We're trackside in the Hollywood Hotel. It's where America gathers every weekend for racing. Welcome to NASCAR on FX, a beautiful spring evening here in Virginia. Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers. Nice to have you with us. And you'll notice we have some Emmys around on Monday night.
Jeff.
The award for television excellence handed out our technical crew, audio crew, and live sports series. So we thank the people of NASCAR and you for watching, and everybody behind the scenes as well.
And you know what, Jeff, Larry, and I always talk about, this deal is just like being on a great race team. And this is a team effort. This isn't any one monkey. You know, one monkey doesn't stop this show, believe it or not.
Yeah,
and this is a real team effort, and congratulations to all the people behind the scenes that never get on camera.
We have to have that back by midnight, by the way.
That's exactly right.
Real men work in the pits. Hey, let's talk about the transition from Talladega, the largest track, to here, a short track where we'll likely see short tempers.
Oh, you're definitely going to see some short tempers tonight. We've been talking all week long. There's the possibility of some of these guys who got something saved back, thinking a little bit of payback at Richmond may come into play here tonight. Aggressive racing, 3 wide. Hey, DW, it's a short track. Well, Jimmy, you know, your 3rd win of the season at Talladega, but your 1st win for your crew chief for this season, Chad Knaus, did that 4-race suspension affect him as far as his crew chiefing? I mean, has he changed somewhat?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think there's been a lot of changes for the better. Not only with Chad and the way he approaches the race weekend and what takes place, you know, in his world, but the way that the team operates and works as well. We've all had to take on a lot more responsibility, grow up. I've grown up a lot in my role as a driver, and we're a stronger race team because we went through that experience on a lot of levels. So I'm very proud of the way the team's handled things, and we're doing well right now.
Hey, Jimmy, it's DW. Listen.
The monkey.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad to know you were listening. And one monkey doesn't stop the show, by the way. And Chris Myers asked that hater question. No, I was just curious. You seem to be a much wiser driver this year. And, you know, so far, 2 years here for the chase, haven't won the championship yet. What do you guys got to do to keep that momentum all the way to the end of the year, not fizzle out in those last 10 races?
I think in some ways we just can't beat ourselves. We can't get too caught up in each individual race and what's taking place at the time. We just got to keep working on our race cars. You know, if we're having a good stretch, still keep trying to advance the cars, not be content, and don't panic if we kind of lose some momentum. So all in all, we're a smarter team. I'm driving with, you know, the right mentality. The team is holding their own on pit road. Everybody's just a lot wiser, including myself. So hopefully we can take all that knowledge and experience we've had over the last 4 seasons, roll that into 10 good ones at the end of the year and be a champion.
All right, hey, Jimmy, before we let you go, I know you're a spokesman for the All-American Soapbox Derby. You're up in D.C. You had a busy week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I had a great week. First, I went and shot a live show at XM Studios. Then from there, I went to a car dealership there in the D.C. area. Worked with some inner-city kids. Levi Strauss Signature donated all the cars necessary and all the equipment necessary to compete in the Soapbox Derby event. Some other people came out that compete and helped us put the cars together and worked with the kids. And really was a good time to give back and put a smile on some less fortunate inner-city kids' faces.
All right, well, keep up the good work. All right, good luck. Thanks for being with us.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah,
have a good night.
Appreciate it.
Jimmy getting ready to go racing as driver driver introductions continue. Here's what's around the turn. The reigning Richmond champ has 2 wins under his belt, but today, Casey Kane straps in with DW for our drive. How about a favorite childhood memory?
When I was 7 years old, Cale Yarborough came to be the Grand Marshal at our hometown parade, and he took a minute of his time to talk to me. And being 7 years old and a kid, that meant the world to me.
If I had 2 tickets, there were great seats at any sporting event that you could name other than a race, right? Well, where would you ideally want to go?
I tell you what, I would love to go to the NCAA
tournament, the Final Four?
Yeah, the championship Final Four.
You're out with the guys and you go out to a karaoke place and everybody has to get up and sing. I'm sure you've done that before, right? Knowing you.
I have done that
All right.
before.
And what's the song that you want to sing?
I always sing David Alico, You Never Call Me By My Name.
Okay.
I have to sing something country because of my accent. Everything else sounds kind of weird.
Scale of 1 to 10. You give me a number. 10 is the high number, right? Races are won and lost in the pits.
Ooh, 6.
A bad driver in a good car is more likely to win than a good driver in a bad car.
I think that's an 8 or a 9.
Elliott Sadler is a good athlete.
10. I played 6 sports in high school and was going to college to try to play sports, so I think that I'm pretty athletic.
Very first time. Kane's got to clear him, and he does. Casey Kane is a winner at last.
So if you're going to go for a ride at Richmond, who better than with last year's winner here, as Darrell Waltrip did in tonight's edition of the Richard Petty Driving Experience Ride Along.
You won your first race here a year ago. Tell me a little bit about this racetrack. How did you do it?
Well, you got to get right down to this yellow line and be able to. I think the biggest thing is rolling, be able to roll fast.
How do you set people up here to pass?
Well, a lot of times you got to get to the outside of them because it's so hard to clear a guy on the inside. Try to get in up here just a little bit. Maybe just let it coast up. Get a run. Sometimes you get a run down off the bottom like that.
You brake with your left foot here?
Yeah.
You brake with your left foot everywhere?
Everywhere.
What was it like having Tony Stewart in your rearview mirror? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was real cool to watch him get smaller as the race went on. So we were driving away. That was a good feeling. Usually he's getting bigger, closer and closer to you.
What do you think? Did you win this thing again tonight? You got the car to do it with?
I hope we do.
This will be a great one, too.
Well, DW, it's Saturday night, and we love Saturday night parties. Let's get this party started. Reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, baby.
Right. Here we go.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
And it's the 49, driven this week by Mike Wallace.
Basically coming off turn 2 over there, Larry.
Number 1.
Didn't hit anything. I don't know if he got any help or not, but he was fortunate not to hit anything.
Lap 7, the Firedex Dodge brings out the first caution of the night.
With only 7 laps under our belt, you'll see most of the leaders stay out. But remember, this was an impound race, so we'll see some of the guys probably at the back come in and make some adjustments.
All by himself. Mike Wallace is around. And we're under the first caution of the night in Richmond.
Hey, look, a phone.
Singular. It's got media net. Wow, this guy's really into racing. He's got driver stats, schedules, insider info. I wonder whose phone this is.
Thanks. I was looking for that.
I guess we're letting them play through.
Now MediaNet puts you in the driver's seat with all things racing in just a couple of clicks. And with Singular, it's already on your phone. Singular.
For Scott Wimmer in the fence going into turn 3, and that'll put us under caution for the second time.
Another one of those cars that had to get on time. Was awfully good in practice yesterday, but a pretty hard lick on the left rear of that car.
Car's torn up big time.
The Aero Exhaust Chevy headed for the garage. And there he is inside Jeremy Mayfield and gets up into Mayfield.
Yeah, he just squeezed up in front of Jeremy. I mean, Jeremy had nowhere to go.
Yellow fever early here in Virginia.
And that's got brake issue written all over it, Matt.
DW, he just came on the radio. Kenny Francis and Mike Shibboleth, the car chief, just asked him, you have a tire going down? He says, no, I think we've lost a cylinder. It sounds and feels like I'm on 7 cylinders. Tough break for this young man, trying to make it 2 wins in a row here this spring race at Richmond.
And I tell you, this year, the Evernham engines, those things are handling down the straightaway, but they have had their share of issues this year.
40 laps, Greg Biffle leads. He has led 7 of 9 races, now 8 of 10 this year. He's led the most laps in 3 races, but he's still looking for his first top 5.
It takes preparation, endurance, and skill. Lots of skill.
Okay, go ahead.
Get out of my truck.
Casey Kane in the garage.
And you know, I mentioned a while ago that Evernham has had some engine problems. Casey Kane lost an engine at Martinsville. They're losing engines in the 9 car at places you wouldn't think you'd have engine problems. You know, you would expect Atlanta, Texas, places like that to have engine failure.
I think he probably said the same.
Do we have that good hands thing yet?
There's a prime candidate for it.
Mark that one down.
We're going to have a lot of candidates for that one tonight. Nice save.
It was.
That was a crown-worthy moment right there.
Man, that thing just jumped out from under him.
And he was coming off Calamity Corner.
Great save, baby. Great save.
Look at that.
Riding with Tony Raines, he had no idea what to do right there. He didn't know where that car was going to end up.
That's a pretty good job of hanging on to that thing, no question. I see Casey Kane going down pit road. They probably pulled a rocker arm off to see if they could maybe keep that thing going for a while.
He is 5 laps down as he re-enters the...
Down the front straight.
And Tony Raines is right in the midst of it in the DLP Chevrolet. He got in the... somebody. And there was a second car involved. So 3rd caution of the night comes at lap 66.
Oh, by the way, another reason these guys like this racetrack, you can spin out and not hit anything.
Yeah, especially here on the front stretch.
Thought it looked good on the big screen.
I don't see a lot of damage. There's J.J. Yaley alongside.
Just almost what happened. It's almost the same thing. Man, he mad at that thing, Larry. Here hitting the rev limiter. It's almost what happened to Jamie McMurray on the back straightaway. Just sounded like the rear tires broke loose.
Yeah, he was definitely into that rev limiter, trying to keep it off the wall.
So a lot of cars scattered, but nobody else involved in Tony Raines' spin.
That's in it. The 26 and he both had the same issue. Rear tires just bust loose and the thing spins out.
Now, a lot of our cars at the front, like Kevin Harvick, Greg Biffle, Mark Martin, Kenseth, and Gordon, they have not been to pit road yet here at lap 66. They will all be on the pit road, and I've got to believe even those cars like Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's been 40-something laps since they pitted. I think you're going to see all the lead lap cars on pit road.
And Stewart got into the back of Clint Boyer, not intentionally, but somebody checked up in front of the Prilosec car, and Boyer checked up, and Stewart was on him.
Nothing you can do.
That's what you want to hear. We'll get it back. Nothing you can do. Settle in.
Let's see how this got started.
Tony's coming down the corner here. I think that 61 car broke the momentum of Boyer's car just a tad. He had to check up for him. Tony just got to run, got to bump into the back of him.
They definitely started stacking up in front of Clint Boyer. Boyer got out of the throttle. Tony just barely gets into it.
Right, but I was going to talk about the 9 car. The guys, they won't cut you a lot of slack when you're 5 laps down. They think you ought to get out of their way. They don't care if you're trying to get them back or not. They don't care how fast you are. They just know you're 5 laps down. Get out of the way.
We've got a caution on the speedway.
And it is Jeff Green and Casey Mears. And I believe this was all in aftermath to a problem that Jeff Burton had coming off turn number 4. Darrell, it's that accordion effect. Something happens here, and by the time the rest of the pack reacts, big things happen back there.
Unlike Bristol and Martinsville, where you just can't help but run over the guy in front of you when something like that happens, and everybody gets involved. Here it's usually 1 or 2 cars.
But there's a prime example again here on the front stretch. A lot of room. 2 cars basically spin out with little to no damage to speak of.
See if we can see what happened here.
Well, this will be the spin here. Jeff Green, Jimmy Johnson.
There you go. It's the same thing. Whoa, Jimmy Johnson. Did he get damaged? Got a little lick there.
Tony Stewart just barely gets by in that 20
you know, Larry, that's the third time now I've seen a car coming off the corner just bust the rear tires loose, spin out.
Well up on the straightaway.
Yeah.
So, Matt, that really didn't involve what happened to Jeff Burton 100 yards further forward, did it?
But Burton came on the radio. You're right, Mike. But Burton came on the radio and said, I don't know. I just ran over somebody bad. This race car is all over the racetrack.
Yeah, he hit the gas in turn 4 and jumped sideways a whole lane and got it back, and things started to stack up.
There's somebody's brake rotor laying over on the back straightaway. Steve?
Well, Mike, they don't know what's wrong with that 17 of Matt Kenseth. You see the guys looking at the rear, underneath the rear of the race car. They just said the oil tank is broken. Oil tank is broken. They're going to go behind the wall.
Well, that could have been where that piece of brake rotor went, Darrell.
There's a great big piece of brake rotor laying over. I saw that, and I think he must have run over it. There you go.
There it is.
Somebody's got no brakes, and it's caused Matt Kenseth to have no oil in his tank.
Now, he came in here second in points, and this will be quite a blow. Larry, what are the chances of getting that fixed and getting him back out without losing a whole lot of time?
Well, I'm sure they are prepared. You know, race teams have preparation. Robbie Reiser, the crew chief, they have a game plan on almost every situation that could come your way. They probably have a spare oil tank. They'll have to take the lines loose, and I'm sure pretty quickly they'll get that thing changed.
I want to know who doesn't have a brake rotor. That's what I want to know.
Well, we'll see who comes in the pits and can't stop. And he jumped sideways a whole lane when that happened.
He decided not to give up track position, sitting there in 10th. It's only been about 10 laps since all these cars pitted. We had about 7 or 8 cars that did pit, including Tony Stewart, Robbie Gordon, Casey Mears, and Jeff Green that was involved in the spin here.
Is out for a huge fire and explosion under the hood of Kevin LePage.
I'm not sure, but there was a lot of fire in the right front of that thing. This could be the engine let go. We may have found the brake rotor problem. We may have found it. Happened right after this restart.
And this caution, Larry, like the length of the last one, is helping Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, because they're able to make these repairs under caution at 60 seconds a lap instead of 20 seconds a lap.
Yeah, and an oil tank is something that you don't just, they're in a very difficult place to get to, and it's not something you just replace like an oil filter.
This is a little scary here, Darrell.
Yeah, I think that's more than a brake. You see the right front's locking up. That's oil there. That's just an oil fire from getting on the hot engine. See him lock up the right front tire. He's got brakes, so I think that's just basically a blown engine.
It's caution flag number 5. So LePage will go to the garage, joining Matt Kenseth and Derek Cope. Kevin climbed out of the car okay.
Caution is out. Now Mark Martin in the 6, he did not stop on pit road. He kept going, so he should stay on the lead lap.
So at lap 185 in turn 4, Edwards spins, trying to be the 4th Roush car to get to pit road. And instead, he's going to trap a couple of his teammates laps down because he brought out the caution.
But you got to believe that Mark Martin's spotter had to be heads up that time.
I think Mark's okay. I believe that the car gets run into. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clint Boyer.
But he maybe was trying to get to pit road.
No, he was definitely trying to get on pit road. He just didn't let the guy behind him know.
That'll give you a case of acid reflux. So here's Mark coming in.
Right here, spotter said caution, caution, caution. He just kept going, maintained his 40 miles per hour, stays on the lead lap. Gave up a lot of track position, of course, but at least he's on the lead lap.
Nice save.
Yeah, he didn't have to speed even. He had plenty of time.
Harvick's in, and most of the leaders will follow. Dick?
Harvick, who has dominated this race. Golly, they took the slightest adjustment in the left rear corner of this car. He has absolutely dominated this race with a car that is nearly perfect. Just a little bit tight off the corner. Steve.
Dick, Kurt Busch is saying that he feels like he's tipped over on the right rear tire. They're going to take 1 pound out of the left front, half a round out of the right rear. Matt.
You can see the wedge wrench in the back window of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet. Now he says the car's about a 3.5 on a scale 1 to 10, tight in the center of the corner. On the right top, you can see Denny Hamlin's Chevrolet. His junior's already down and away. Now they've been making small adjustments for Denny Hamlin. Track bar in the last stop, air pressure again this stop.
Earnhardt, Hamlin, Kurt Busch lead him off, then Stewart, Newman, and Bobby Labonte. So the caution flag flies for the 6th time in the Crown Royal 400. He's going to make it to pit road, but Jeff Gordon's going to at least
I don't think he's running
off the lead lap.
I don't see any flat tires. I don't think he's under power.
I have no power, just completely shut off. And I tried all boxes, batteries, everything.
Hit the button on your steering wheel.
You gotta make it down here? You gotta make it to the pit stop, please?
Well, that's a good question. Yes, he will make it to his pit stall.
And Darrell, what you mean the button on the steering wheel? There's a kill switch the driver has there in case the throttle hangs, and I don't know how many times we see a driver hit that switch and he doesn't realize it.
When I hear a driver say, I just lost power all at once, that's the first thing I think of is that button on the steering wheel.
Steve, any clue?
Mike, I'm listening to Jeff Gordon on the radio. Steve Letarte said, open the hood. They're mystified. They have no idea why that race car is not under power.
Remember, he comes in here 6th in the points, so this will be a big hit for Jeff Gordon in this 24 group.
And look on the left of your screen, a lot of traffic for Kevin Harvick. Elliott Sadler alongside, J.J. Yaley just ahead, and Casey Kane. Harvick trying to pick his way, racing for 4th place right here.
A lot of brake there on that 20 car going down in the corner. Give him a little shot. He's been holding him up. Denny had been holding him up some. I've been watching him race pretty hard here for a while.
Now these are teammates.
In fact, to me, he was maybe trying to chase him back down again and just overdrove the corner
You could
up
see
the racetrack.
Yeah, you can see the car kind of dog walking up the racetrack.
Dog walking?
Well, it's just a little bit better than turkey walking.
Thanks.
We're getting a report that they did check to see if it was the kill switch on the 24 on the steering wheel Darrell was talking about. It was not. It looks like this team will make that dreaded left-hand turn behind the wall of the garage area.
The only thing worse than dog walking, turkey walking is when they pogo. They get the pogoing and you got no hope.
Does this thing even have a track bar?
Yeah, I think we need a bigger one.
This needs to go overnight to Richmond.
Thanks.
UPS is the only one that delivers to and from the track. And they're a good sponsor, Dale.
UPS, the official delivery company.
It might be an ignition problem. And also, Jeff, want to let you know, understand Kurt Busch in the 2 car running in the 3rd position has a right front tire down.
Boy, bad things happen. And in this case, it's Kurt Busch for the right front. We're going to make a chassis adjustment, fill him up with fuel while he's in there with 152 laps to go.
And since it's been about 55 or 60 laps, I would have thought they maybe would have went ahead and changed 4 tires on that car, but they elect to go with just the 2 right sides and put a little bit of fuel in.
I got to believe it, though, Larry. Think about it. He was coming off turn 2. He started hauling. I got a flat tire. They come to pit road. They just had to service him, get him out there as quick as they could.
Next year becomes the Your Name Here 400. That'll be an interesting promotion. Let's see. Here's Jamie McMurray comes onto pit road, and let's show you why we're under this caution. Watch the 1.
See the dust fly. That's on the exit there, coming off turn 4. Everybody's running really high down here in 3 and 4, right up next to the wall in the middle of the corner, but he got a little too much of that debris on his tires.
Then watch the 96 come into the picture. Tony Raines, that'll be next.
Boy, Carl Edwards in the 99 just gets by.
Now here comes Raines. He's going to be in front of Dale Jr.
But here's you see what happened. Kevin slows down. It's almost as if it's almost like the 96. I got to beat him back to the line. And then right at the last second, he said, no, we don't race back to the line.
He spun out to keep from hitting our leader,
to keep
Kevin
from hitting
Harvick.
Kevin.
Hold what you got. Hold what you got. Keep it down. Come on.
And that created an anxious moment for this driver.
Running in second right here. is stopped. Nowhere to go.
And then we have pit stops. While the Pirate, Captain Jack, got the lucky dog, free pass.
When you think about Tony Raines, and you know, he's just been in this car this year for the first for the last few races. I almost can guarantee you he was thinking, I got to beat Harvick back to the line. Then it dawned on him, you don't, because we don't race. Locked it down and spun it out, because he's going to run into Harvick if he didn't.
Pretty much all of our leaders, all 16 on the lead lap, made pit stops. 4 tires here with about 137, 138 laps to go. Still be a stretch to make it to the end from here. But one thing that did happen when that caution came out, and I think one of those replay angles showed it, Kasey Kahne in the 9 was finally in front of Kevin Harvick, gets one of his lap back. But how about our leader, Dick Berggren?
There is such a thing as a perfect race night. Happy Harvick is having just that. It was a perfect pit stop. They took just a half a round out of the left rear to Matt.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. hit road in second and is still second. Small tweak with air pressure. His car almost perfect. Denny Hamlin, he was telling Mike Ford, his crew chief, I'm using a lot more brake on this run. Spotter Curtis Markham told Mike where the damage to the fender was about 2 o'clock or so in that position on that right front fender, so they know where to pull it out, but also to let Mike know just how much damage there was to messing up the downforce of the car. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart in 4th, Hamlin's teammate, a number of adjustments, still trying to get that car in that position where Smoke needs it. Still too tight in the center, still too loose on exit.
Got a problem over there.
Him and Greg Biffle, I think, got together at the end of the backstretch.
Yeah, I got to believe that's one frustrated young man right now after all that's happened to him here going in and out of the pits. 3 laps down, running in 36, come into the pits there a while ago with a flat tire, running 3rd.
And had a good race car.
Oh, Biffle just moves up in front of him right there, and they make a little contact. That was a great save on Kurt's part.
It looked like the reason Biffle moved up, he was catching Sterling Marlin in the 14 so fast he had to move up.
Who did not come to pit road? Kevin Harvick.
I don't like this. I don't think that was a good move.
Steve.
Scott Riggs in the 10 car said his car has got a little bit too tight. Let's go to Matt.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. says, just give me more of the same what you did last time. Air pressure adjustment. Looks like Jr. will win the battle off pit road. More track bar adjustment also for Denny Hamlin. He was too tight in the center. Dick?
It was Todd Berrier's decision to leave Happy Harvick out on the racetrack. He just told me they did not think they could make it on fuel, so they left him out there all by himself.
But Dick, it has nothing to do with being able to make it on fuel. It has to do with having 25 laps on your tires, and now everyone else on the lead lap has brand new tires.
And here's why we're under caution. Martin Truex was puffing smoke from the middle of the corner out, and then finally something grenaded in the tracker boats #1. Now, remember what happened to his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. last week at Talladega? Spun, rotated backwards, and then blew the engine. Is this the same song, second verse?
Remember, Larry, I said, let's that thing up against the rev limiter. Remember, you said, yeah, he's just holding it wide open, which he was. Got to have something to do with it. I don't care what you say.
Now, Richie Gilmore with DEI did come forward this week and say that the engine failure was not due to the motor spinning backwards when Dale Earnhardt Jr. spun out. We've seen this other times. I talked to Chad Canals, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief. He said it happened to them in Indy a couple of years ago. As we're looking at Todd Berrier, there's Chad Canals there. We'll see just how good that 29 car is, because he's the only car on the lead lap that did not pit.
Like a Coke on camera, it became a competition. And when we heard the money would be donated to charity, well, we took it to the next level.
All the major indices are up as we near the closing bell.
Hi to our viewers. Hello, everybody. Thank you. It was absolutely delightful working with you.
The personal trainer or the other personal trainer.
And a dramatic finish.
The Coca-Cola Racing family, doing our part to help those in need.
Regardless of how fast you are.
I think it's just a few laps here and Junior will drive right by him. He's just got so much more grip. He's doing to Harvick what Harvick's done to everybody else all night, but now Harvick's at a big, big disadvantage. You look at that. He's got 3 cars ready to pounce right on him.
But Darrell, we've seen the Junior's car has worked better on the outside of the racetrack. He's trying to pass Harvick on the inside.
Well, he should be able to, like I said, but then look who's right here in the picture. I mean, we got these guys all over each other.
We got 4 cars. It looks like the Busch race last night. You got Kyle Busch in the 5, Denny Hamlin in the 11.
And the 31 car is right there closing quickly.
We've got 110,000 people here, and basically with 77 laps to go, all of them are standing up, especially with that Budweiser car up there.
Kyle Busch thinks this is his house. Finished top 5 in both races last year and got his first career Busch Series win right here, May of 04.
I think Junior just decided he can't get by Harvick. Let somebody else try.
That somebody is Kyle Busch.
Yeah, as long as Harvick can keep these guys pinned on the bottom like he is, without, you just about got to rough him up to get by him.
Speaking of roughing up, about 5 laps ago, Tony Stewart moved Jimmy Johnson aside. Not for position, but just to go on by and have a chance to challenge the top 5.
Riding with Jeff Burton here in the 31 car, and I would say for the first time tonight, probably Kevin Harvick, the 29 car leader, he would love to see a caution. He needs tires, and he needs fuel not that many laps from now.
And he needs not to run out of laps there. There's only 74 to go in the Crown Royal 400.
Go.
We got to be more.
333 laps complete. New leader, Denny Hamlin. Got underneath Kyle Busch after Dale Earnhardt Jr. backed out and Busch couldn't make the pass. The kid from Chesterfield, Virginia, in his first Nextel Cup race on his home racetrack.
I tell you, the 11's just driving on adrenaline and determination. Got a hurt wing there. His left hand is killing him, but he's driving off into the moonset.
Now, Dale Jr. had gotten pretty physical up there with Kevin Harvick trying to take the lead, and then drifted to the back of this pack and explained to his crew why.
No, Kevin, I'm sorry. I was trying to get off of him. I talked to him. You're cool. I'm about racing him off, too. No, I talked to him.
Good to go.
Kevin Harvick needed a caution. He got one. Robbie Gordon cut down a tire and plowed into the turn 1 wall. Now the pits are not yet open.
We got mistakes already. Jeff Burton in the 31, Mark Martin in the 6. They have pitted. Pit road is closed. The penalty for those guys will be tail end of the longest line on the restart. They've not even hit pit road and we've already got mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you got that light down there. I mean, that light is plenty visible.
Now here's why we're under caution.
That's a lick.
Now, inexplicably, Gordon came around to pit road, did not stop, and going all the way around again to his pit did a lot more damage to that Menards number 7.
All I know, this race on pit road right now here with 53 laps to go, this could determine Dick Berggren who wins or loses this race.
Yeah, indeed. Kevin Harvick on pit road. His crew chief has told him he was sorry about that decision. Said he's going to give 4 tires. Told Kevin Harvick, hold your breath and go. He was in 6th position. Harvick still has a chance to win this race. Steve.
Scott Riggs on pit road in the 10 car trying to remain a factor in this race. He says his car has just gotten tighter as the race goes on. He's focusing on not overdriving the corners, Matt.
Denny Hamlin tried to score his first Nextel Cup Series win. Said, I am just killing them on exit. Do not do anything that may hurt my forward divide on exit. I just need to be a little freer in the center of the corner. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he need to be a little tighter on exit.
Well, I know Matt Yoakum, Dick Berggren talked about it. The group that's killing them on pit road is Alan Gustafson in that 5 car of Kyle Busch. He wins the battle off pit road. That's 2 pit stops in a row. They picked up a total of about 7.
It's out 4 wide for a moment. And for the lead, Junior underneath Biffle. Or excuse me, underneath Kyle Busch.
And Kevin Harvick in that 29 says, guys, you run side by side. I'm going to make it 3 wide over here. I'll be there.
I just play when you get that 8 car out front, get a little clean air on the nose. Adios.
goes Kevin Harvick, turns underneath Kyle Busch. They're side by side off turn 2.
Side by side for 4 laps. They connected. Riggs into the outside wall, Vickers to the inside.
Come on down. Jimmy Johnson, lucky dog. Come on.
Yeah, these two had been going at it for 10th position for about 10 or 15 laps.
Larry, the 48 car gets to pass. How many times have we seen it?
The next thing you know, he'll be up there battling in the top 10.
Well, we're into double digits. This is the 10th caution of the night. These two had been side by side for at least 3 laps.
See the brakes glowing on the 10 car, trying to stay off the 25.
A lot of damage to both those race cars.
Yeah, both cars took pretty hard licks.
Both these cars had great runs at Talladega last week.
Factor in, guys. Driver's side.
From Jeff Burton's singular Chevy. There's a look at it.
Two guys just getting down there at the corner at the same time.
Good job. Caution's out.
And that will put Burton into the top 10.
Got a few cars hitting pit road here with about 13 laps to go. Most of the top guys stayed out. We got Biffle, Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, several other cars back there making pit stops here.
Just 13 laps to go. Don't touch that dial. Got a great restart. Denny Hamlin did not.
But Hamlin was able to clear the lap car.
Oh, back straight away. Burton gets turned around into the wall.
Caution is out again.
11th time tonight.
Jeff Burton was one of those cars I talked about right before we went to break that made a pit stop.
They were 3 wide coming off turn 2 back there. Something had to give.
Let's see what happened here. Whoa, he gets into Mark Martin. Or yeah, he's all over Mark Martin. Jeff Burton is trying to keep from wrecking Martin. Wrecks himself, and that's a pretty hard lick on the inside right there. No safe barrier down there.
And that will move nobody back on the lead lap. We're inside 10 to go when the caution comes out.
He was just trying to get under Mark and got into Mark a little bit and tried to stay off of him, and in the process wrecked himself.
Next year, hard hit. Here's Reed Sorensen on pit road as the 1-to-go sign comes out, along with Burton and Matt Kenseth.
Now we get a single file restart, Larry, and that'll help. I don't know if that'll help anybody or not.
But that means basically we're within that 10-lap window at the end of the race, so lead lap cars only to the front. You know, 100 laps ago, we had 3 Childress cars running in the top 7. I know Kevin Harvick is in 3rd, but, buddy, in the last 100 laps, we've had a good night go south for Richard Childress Racing.
Well, yeah, for the 31 car, Boyer's still 7th.
Right,
so,
yes.
You know, I think where it's gone south is that pit strategy.
They will restart with 7 laps to go. Single file this time. Earnhardt, Hamlin, Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Stewart, the top 5.
Oh, boy, Harvick anticipated that stop, and I think what he did was perfectly legal. Well, he actually didn't even complete the pass.
No, I think he decided.
But there goes Denny Hamlin to the inside of Junior coming off turn 2.
I think Harvick gave that back because I think he was afraid that they might get him for jumping the restart. But I tell you, Denny Hamlin's really good on the bottom, and he can get up alongside Junior. I don't know if he can pass him or not, but he can sure worry him to death.
6 to go.
And you know what? There's those 2 guys at the front right now. There's no 2 guys here want to win worse than they do.
Junior trying to return to victory lane for the first time in 47 races. Hamlin's never been there. He's in his rookie season trying to become the first rookie since Stewart to win here.
This is almost like Casey Kane and Tony Stewart, because Hamlin probably wouldn't have the ride if it wasn't for Dale Jr.
Hamlin can beat him through the middle of the corner. Junior in that second groove gets a good run off turn 2 like he did down the backstretch that time. 4 to go next time.
Got to have the whole racetrack to make the pass. That's the problem. When you get down under somebody, you just don't have enough room. I think now that they're sorted out a little bit, the tires are cleaned off. It's pretty hard for Hamlin to get to him now.
Here's a man on a move right here. Yep. Greg Biffle in the 16 car. He was one of those cars that pitted for fresh
just went around Tony Stewart.
5th place.
And guess where Jimmy Johnson is?
On the lead lap in 13th.
13th and coming.
With fresh tires. 3 to go.
Now, the 31 car didn't do Junior any favors, but it didn't hurt him, and he's on his way. Hamlin's pretty much decided he's going to move up and see if he can chase Junior down, but
Biffle for 4th place up beside Kyle Busch in that 5 car, but he's going to run out of laps. 2 to go.
What a comeback for Greg Biffle.
You got that right. I mean, he is just driving around them left and right, and Junior just continues to open the gap.
He is stretching it out. He gets off the corner so good. White flag this time.
Come on, bring her home, Junebug. I believe you got yourself one there, buddy.
Clean racetrack. And the fans are waving as he completes his last lap halfway down the backstretch.
Went home early last week. Going to stay up late tonight.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. for his 17th Nextel Cup victory wins the Crown Royal 400.
This bud's for you, baby.
And at the line, Jimmy Johnson broke into the top dozen, edging Elliott Sadler. He will remain the point leader. Tony Stewart will rise to 2nd in the Nextel Cup standings. First win for Junior in the last 28 races. That was Chicago last July. He was 1 for 47 coming in here. Next year, the title of this race will be the name of a fan who wins the Crown Royal contest. It's the Your Name Here 400 for now. But tonight, this race belongs to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All I know is last week at Talladega, when the 8 car fell out, I think fans left. I think more fans came tonight here at the end of this race. Burning down the house.
Look at this. Larry, where'd he go?
He's down there.
Where'd he go? There he is. Melt him down. Scorch them hides.
2 big keys to victory for Junior tonight. One that we've talked about, the early pit stop.
He blew the right rear out, Larry.
And the other, he battled Kevin Harvick hard for the lead and then backed out to 4th place. If you guys go race a while, I'll see you later. We'll see him in victory lane next.
Tonight in the pits and on the prep of the cars, but Larry, nights like tonight when I really am glad I'm up here doing what I'm doing, because it's exciting to be a part of all this and fun to be up here. Did a great job tonight, buddy. You and Mike both. Everybody in the pits, Jeff and everybody. Good night.
It was fun. We talked about Greg Biffle, but Ryan Newman gets a good finish. And Sterling Marlin, celebrating his 30th anniversary Nextel Cup, finishes in the top 10.